you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I was 19 when I decided to save up some money and go to Europe on a fashion and art tour. It was worth a credit from college. I was supposed to go all the way up through Italy, then over to Paris and London. We made it to Milan, and we were about ready to get on a bus that was going to take us through the Pyrenees and up into France, hopefully on to Paris. Well, we were about to get into the bus when we were all students from America that didn't speak hardly any Italian, capasso maybe. And our headmaster didn't speak much either. And we get in, and this bus driver was Italian, and he didn't speak any English. So we get into the bus, and we're taking off, which seemed like a beautiful trip through the Pyrenees. But I mean, this guy was rolling. I mean, he'd go way up, and then he'd just go as fast as he could down these hills, and then he'd take these switchbacks, and we'd be gasping as we looked down. It looked like 15,000 feet down, and we were about to tip into this canyon. We were just so scared, you can't imagine. And every time we'd get to the switchback, we'd all huddle over on the other side of the bus, hoping the bus wouldn't tip into the canyon. It was just so scary. You can't imagine how we felt in this bus. It was the worst roller coaster ride I ever took. Well, we made it to Tonon, France it was, and the bus driver got out, and somehow he communicated that our company wasn't paying his company, and he left us on the road. Well, I can tell you, we were outside our comfort zone, but we made it through, and everything turned out just fine. And this is a learning place for us all. I can tell you I wasn't really into learning right then. We had a great trip, and everything was fine. But I want to share with you another experience that I had where I was outside my comfort zone. It was on a date, and we were going to go to the show. So we walked into the show, and it just so happens we were about 40 minutes early for the show that we were supposed to see. And we walked inside the lobby, and it was huge, but it was a mess. It was like some stampede of cattle went through it. It was just a mess. Nobody was in there except for the attendants. So with all this time to spare, I decided to go into the ladies' room and freshen up. Well, I walked in the ladies' room, and that was even worse. I can't even imagine how to tell you. But it was a mess. So I did what I had to do, and I got outside of there as soon as I could. Well, as I walked outside, everybody's pointing. The attendants are all pointing at me and laughing at me, and my date was laughing. They're all going like this, you know, and I'm looking around. I had a dress on, so I'm making sure my dress wasn't up in the back. Sure enough, as I turned around, there was toilet paper stuck to my shoe. And I'm not kidding, it wasn't just stuck to my shoe, it was still coming out of the bathroom. It was still on the roll. I was so embarrassed, you can't even imagine. Another time outside my comfort zone. Well, another time that I had learned a wonderful thing about being outside my comfort zone. At the time I didn't see it immediately, but I had a daughter and I was a single mom. She was about 4 years old. We had just bought a house. So we were kind of going to be here in Arizona. I was kind of making up our mind, we're staying here. No sooner had we decided that when my sister announced to me, who was my only family here, that they were moving back to Buffalo. Her and her husband and her little girl. Oh, this tinge of fear went through me, like, who do I rely on? Who am I going to call if I get a flat tire? This, of course, is before cell phones. What if I get stranded on the road? What if something happens? This fear. Then I decided, I made a decision at that point. If I get myself in an upsetting situation like this, I know you can turn things around and make it positive. So I decided that I was going to make it a challenge, and it was going to be an adventure, and it was going to be exciting no matter what it was. And it wasn't long after that I was put to the test. I got up early one morning, taking my daughter to daycare, got her there with plenty of time. So we get to the daycare, and then I get off on the road again. It was, I believe it was McDowell, and I was headed toward McDonnell Douglas where I worked, when pop, my tire blew up. There I was, sitting. How would I think before my habits started coming back to me? Oh my God, I'm going to be late for work. I'm going to get my hands dirty. I don't know where the jack is. all of a sudden that stopped. I stopped. I said, oh my God, this is my challenge. This is the time. So I got out of my car, and I stood there, and I looked at the tire because I knew it was going to give me an adventure. Sure enough, I no sooner looked at the tire, and this guy comes up to me and says, ma'am, can I help you change your tire? I said, please. As he was changing the tire, he told me that he had just retired from Goodyear Tire down the street. Now, did I create that serendipitous moment?
Yes.
It was wonderful, and I can tell you I've had others since then. Now, of course, most of the time that I do this or have an upsetting moment, they just roll off and I continue on with my life. Being outside your comfort zone is a really nice place. Connie can verify for that because she teaches Call Reluctance. We all share in that adventurous spirit because we join Toastmasters. We want that adventure. It's a wonderful place to be. And I'm going to leave you with something that Zig Ziglar said, especially for those who want to change with their personality. When you want to change, you must be uncomfortable. Thank you for this.
Good.